Good morning, everybody. How are y'all doing? We're going to get Missy on here and we are going to interview our very own Missy Shibboleth. I'm excited about that. Good morning, Lori Jackson.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Okay. Oh, hold on.
There we go. Should be able to, hey! Hey, your hair has gotten so long.
Yeah, it's normally in a ponytail. So.
I like it. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Well, all right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. I've got us live on Facebook. What I'm going to do, though, is I am going to hit record real quick. So I'm going to hit record. We are recording. Hey, everybody. Good morning. This is Kim Danke coming to you live from the Shibboleth Studios in Kennesaw, Georgia. And we are here with our very own Missy Shibboleth, a Shibboleth success story who has turned into a Shibboleth team member, a very valuable team member. And I know y'all are thankful for her. So we are going to just ask Missy some questions and hear about her success. And we're excited to do that. So welcome, Missy.
Hey, I'm glad to be here.
Good, good. That's awesome. Thank you for doing that this morning. We certainly appreciate it. So just in general, when did weight become an issue for you in life?
Probably when I was around 11 or 12, you know, those preteen years is when I was going through a lot in my life. My parents got divorced around that time, and I think I medicated myself with food a lot. So that's, you know, and then just, you know, I got married when I was 23 and had 3 babies within like 6 years. So
Yeah.
Just called on after that.
Yes, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. I really, really do. A lot of this mom weight turns into weight that we sometimes don't know how to get rid of. But thankfully, Shibboleth allows us to do that. So before Shibboleth, did you have any previous diet attempts?
Oh my goodness, yes. I did Weight Watchers twice and would just have a little bit of success. I think the most I ever lost on that was like 25 pounds. And I mean, I was very active. I exercised a lot. And I think in a lot of ways I was trying to out-exercise bad eating habits. I thought, you know, if I just exercise enough, it'll be okay. But as far as like organized things, I just tried to cut out sugar and tried to watch my portions with things. You know, I didn't do a lot of, you know, fad diets and stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Good, good. So how did you hear about Shibboleth?
From Kim Overmeyer. So Kim and I have been in the same homeschool group for a long time, probably 15 years or more. And so I would run into her in town and saw that she was rapidly shrinking. And she told me about Shibboleth and she told me I should try it. And I didn't think anything would work for me because I failed to mention when I was 24, 26, I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome, which means like my body produces too much insulin and doesn't know how to correctly use it, is what I was told. And so I was told that I would always be weight loss resistant and to just try to be as healthy as I could be, but I was always going to be overweight. And so I thought, you know, when she told me about Shibboleth, I thought, well, that sounds good. And but it won't work for me, you know. And so I went ahead and bought the membership because it was on sale then, and I didn't do anything with it for months. but when I did start, you know, when I did start doing it, it worked quickly. So
that's awesome. That is awesome. So when you heard about it, you joined because it was on sale and you'd seen Kim have success, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you knew Kim had success and everything. So what do you think makes Shibboleth different than anything that you kind of tried in the past, even though you hadn't necessarily done fad diets? What makes it different to you?
It explained to me how foods work together with your body. And that was key, because something I share a lot of times on like mentor phone calls and stuff is when I started Shibboleth, I had gotten to a place where I was already buying the right foods. I just didn't know how they work together and how they could work against each other. So just learning how to properly put those foods together just meant the difference, for me personally. So just learning how to do that and knowing that there's really nothing I can't have either on a perfect day or save it for a holiday. Like, to me, that's what makes it different. Is so many other eating plans totally exclude large food groups. And I knew that wasn't something I could do long term.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Well, so how much weight have you lost so far?
Well, the lowest I've ever gotten was 47 pounds, and I generally stay right around 40. So, I kind of adjusted I just really wanted my 50-pound badge, but I don't think I really had 50 pounds to lose. So I've adjusted my expectations, but I have been right at, goal in July will be 3 years. So, so that has been a very sustainable weight for me. So
That is awesome.
40 to 45 pounds.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome. So when you started Shibboleth, did you think, it sounds to me like you thought it was going to be hard because of what doctors had told you and stuff.
Yes. I thought it wouldn't work for me. I have a workout buddy who is what is she? She's a nurse practitioner, and she's very much into health and, studying all this stuff. So for years I had been her little guinea pig, and she had me doing different protein things, different kind of eating plans, eating small meals throughout the day. I felt like I had done everything, toying around with it. So I just thought, this won't work. But I do want to share that, I tell this to a lot of people. There was a Saturday morning class, the 10 o'clock class that Travis was doing, where he had Abby Dees as his special guest. And she was talking, she had lost like 123 pounds in 10 months doing Shibboleth. And this was when I still hadn't done anything with my membership. But she talked about how she lost all this weight eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And so when I learned that, I was like, I can do that. I love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So that's really, what got me thinking I can do this. And the cool thing that she also shared was, do what you can do until you learn more of what you can do. So you just have to start, like you just have to jump in there and start doing what you can do, and then just kind of build your menu from there. So that's what I did.
That is funny, because I tell people in the fast track that I probably ate 30 Mighty Muffins in my first 20 days. But that's exactly what you're explaining is do what you know to do while you're learning it. So eating those Mighty Muffins helped me be successful until I got to the point where I started pulling it all together. I don't eat nearly as many Mighty Muffins now, but they worked for me in the beginning.
Yeah, and they're convenient. So
yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, that's awesome. Well, I know that with me, I thought Shibboleth was going to be hard. And so I just kind of set my goal weight loss from 185 to 150. I wanted to be 150. And that happened in 3 months. And then our maintenance program, I lost 15 more pounds for that 50-pound badge that I didn't even think I had 50 pounds to lose. So it's like, praise the Lord. Thank you.
One day, I'm going to get serious and get mine. Even if it's...
Well, I find that I don't really need it either, because it's one of those things where if I keep my 4-pound, I do a 4-pound range. Yeah, buffer. So it's like, as long as I'm in those 4 pounds, I'm good, because weight's going to fluctuate. So if I hit 140, I was like, no, go back the other way. But if I ever hit 135.5 again, then I'll get my 50-pound badge. But I was at 136 on Thursday morning when I woke up. So I was like half a pound from that, but I didn't do what I had to do on Thursday, even though I had a perfect day. I probably could have gotten there on Friday, but I was like, okay, do I really need that? No. But it is fun. It is fun. So, so you mentioned peanut butter and jellies helped you get started, but what is it that you like to eat now?
Oh my goodness. Well, we eat a ton of Mexican food. So I do a lot of fajitas and tacos and taco salads. We do hamburgers about once a week. I do like those butterball turkey burgers. I do like protein bars and protein shakes. So like for about the past, well, ever since the quarantine thing's been going on, I've been doing those think bars with a cup of coffee for breakfast, and those have been very filling for me. It just I have to kind of rotate it through cycles because like you like some things for a while and then you get sick of that and you have to kind of get something new. Some of my family's favorite recipes from the library are the 9-can chicken tortilla soup. We love that. We squeeze fresh lime in that and put a little bit of fat-free sour cream or something in it. It's so good. We do the cream cheese chicken chili and the unstuffed cabbage rolls, and I don't know, we do a lot of the recipes. The cheeseburger quesadillas, like we do a ton of quesadillas, every kind of, we do chicken ones and cheeseburger ones and all those.
Good. Well, I'm sure people are hearing that they are happy that they can do Mexican. What do you leave out that makes this Mexican work where a lot of Mexican before didn't work?
Well, you mean like if I go to a restaurant or something?
Well, no, like, yeah, that or at home, either way.
Okay. So if I go to a restaurant, like I'll get a lunch portion of the chicken fajitas or the shrimp. And I do get double beans instead of rice. I don't necessarily eat the beans with that meal, but I have them because they are approved where the rice wouldn't be. But I also will get it on top of lettuce instead of getting it with the tortillas. And you can still have the pico, and you can have the guacamole if you want that to be, part of it, part of your condiment. But I usually just do like the fajita meat and the like the grilled peppers and onions on lettuce or something like that. And you can put a little queso on there for your extra. If you're, you have to be careful with your extras and your condiments, but if you do it right, you can jazz it up pretty good and not feel like you're missing out on anything.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, good. Well, I know at home when I would make tortillas before, all I needed to do was switch over to a tortilla that was a category 2 fibrous carb tortilla. So some of these switches are very, very easy, and we still feel like we're getting the exact same thing.
Yeah, you can even microwave one of the tortillas for 2 minutes and turn it into chips. So that way you've got a category 2 chip to dip in your salsa.
That's awesome. Great idea. That is awesome. Now, not everybody likes to exercise, but I know you like to exercise. Now, tell us, were you doing this the whole time, or tell us about your exercise journey?
Okay, so I started running in 2011, and prior to that, I was not a runner at all. I started having dreams that I was running, and I liked the way I felt in my dreams when I was running. And I was 240 pounds at that time. And so I just started running one day. That was back in 2011. I didn't start Shibboleth until 2016. And I really didn't start it till 2017, because I had the membership for a few months before I started. But just running, I ran often before Shibboleth, but not every day. And I was able to lose probably about 30 pounds just through exercise. But I was over 200 pounds. I was 203 pounds when I joined Shibboleth. And so, I really started running a lot. Probably in 2013, I started running a lot. And I've been doing a run streak since Thanksgiving Day 2018. I have ran every single day. So that was supposed to be a 40-day challenge to help me get through the winter, but I never stopped because it's fun and it makes me do something every day. So even if it's just 1 mile, I can do that in 10 minutes and, I've done something for the day. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So running, like you said, you cannot out-exercise a bad diet. You cannot out-exercise a bad diet, but you've got the two together, and I bet you anything that you run better now because of what you do with Shibboleth.
Oh, so much. Like I was literally running half marathons over 200 pounds. So I do run a lot faster now, and it's a lot easier now. And, but yeah, my best times have been since Shibboleth. And I do want to say, because I do talk to a lot of people who wonder about, if their very active lifestyle will require them to eat more food than what Shibboleth provides. And I thought that too, because that was part of the reason why I didn't start Shibboleth right when I first joined, was because I was training for a 10-miler and a half marathon. I joined in October, and my 10-miler was in October and my half marathon was in November. And I didn't want to start messing with what I was eating when I was running for 2 hours a day. You know what I mean? And but fast forward, and I really got in. I've kind of laid aside my exercise for a little while to get into Shibboleth. I figured I knew how to exercise. I don't know how to eat, you know. So I got into learning how to do Shibboleth, and then the following year, because I do the same 3 big races every year. The next year, when I did those big races, I didn't up my food in any way. I didn't do an additional snack. I didn't do any extras. I didn't take a holiday the day before to carb load or anything like that. And I recovered faster and ran better just having a perfect day. And I didn't have any of the like energy drinks or energy goos or all that. You know what I mean? I just did water the whole race, and my body was like a machine. It was awesome. So
That is amazing. What about people who don't exercise? Do you still see that they can have success in Shibboleth?
Oh, definitely. I would say that's a large part of our demographic, or just people who, you know, can't or just don't exercise. And yeah, I think eating is everything. I think eating is probably 80 to 90% of it, you know, what your eating lifestyle is. And then even if you can just walk is, you know, that's good. But even if you can't, you'll still have, you know, success on Shibboleth.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's great. Well, good. Well, now what is your motivation to keep going now?
I never want to go back to how I was. And I mean, and also, I mean, I'm married and I have 3 kids, and I want to be a good example for them. I've always homeschooled my kids. And so I have one that's graduated. He's almost done with college. And then I've got a high schooler and a middle schooler. Those are both girls. And really Shibboleth and learning about Shibboleth has been a family thing, because I want my children to not only to know how to cook for, you know, yumminess and, you know, fun, but I want them to learn how to cook for health. You know, that this is very much a wellness lifestyle, you know, just as much or more than it's a weight loss, you know, plan. And so to be a good example, you know, there's so many things that people think, you know, run in their family, but they can really be avoided just by living a healthy lifestyle. And so, you know, doing that is my motivation. Like, I don't want to go back to where I was. I spent 40 years of my life one way, and I want to spend the last half of my life, you know, healthy and being able to do what I want to do.
Exactly. And I'm right there with you. That's my motivation, not to go back to where I was and to live the rest of my life in this healthier, happier, lighter state. Well,
I really feel like I've been healthier, like from an immune system standpoint too. Like, I think just, you know, keeping the sugar down and keeping your body properly fueled, you know, helps us to stay well, which, you know, a lot of people ask about my running streak, because I'm on like day 500 and something, and they're like, you know, what's your goal? And I'm like, well, for if anything else, I'm thankful that for the past 500 and something days, I have felt well enough to at least run a mile, you know, and I attribute a lot of that to Shibboleth and helping to keep me strong and healthy.
that is awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so I usually ask people if they had any lab results that have improved and everything. So tell us about those, and then with your polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Okay, so I did get diagnosed with that when I was 26, and I did take metformin for a lot of years, probably 17 years or something like that. No, not 17 years, probably about 14 or 15 years I took metformin. And but I didn't like the way it made me feel. And I took myself off of that. I wasn't diabetic. It was for the polycystic ovarian syndrome. But all of the symptoms of that have gone away with Shibboleth. And but I don't go get lab results or anything like that. But all of the like hormonal symptoms and all of the weight gain and all the other things that go along with that have gone away. So
that's awesome. That is such a blessing. And I do hear a lot of people who have been diagnosed with things, and then they start living the Shibboleth lifestyle, and those symptoms and those problems and those diagnoses go away. So what a blessing. Well, I'm going to share my screen real quick. You sent me some pictures yesterday, and I'll let you tell us about them once I get to them. And I hope everybody can see my screen. Can you see it, Missy?
yes, I can see it.
Okay. So if you don't mind, tell us about this picture.
Okay, which one? Where's your the whole picture?
Yeah, just start and tell us about this collage that you made.
Okay, so the first two pictures that say 2016, the one on the top was in February of 2016. So that was like really near my start date of Shibboleth. And that was during a time I was running very often, and I was actually at a 5K with my family. That's my husband and my little girl in the picture with me. And that picture was a big wake up call for me because I was like, man, I did not realize I was that chunky looking. And the picture right below it was 2 months before, in December of 2000. Okay, hold on. I think I'm getting my dates right. But those are 2 months apart, those two pictures.
These two.
So the next two pictures are in 2017, and I wasn't quite at my, okay, I'm getting confused here. 2016 was the year before I started. So 2017 is when I really started doing it. And so the next two pictures, you know, those are right around the time I was getting to my goal weight. And then the one for 2018 is when I've been there for a year. So
that's awesome.
I probably lost a little bit more by then.
Yeah, yeah. You can see a lot in your face right here.
I know. My husband and I were laughing at that picture last night. I mean, like, that picture I think was from 2014, and at that point my husband and I were talking about this last night, and he said, I did not realize how much your face shape could change losing weight. Like he told me, he said, I really didn't realize you were that overweight. I was like, honey, love is blind. But I mean, it's just amazing to me, like, that you can actually see my bones in, you know, the next picture.
Yep, yep. And then let's have a look. We got one more. There you go.
Yeah, so that is 2015 and yesterday. So the blue dress was yesterday, and that was from a married prom that my husband and I went to, and I wasn't very confident with how I looked, but I wanted to take a picture with my husband. And it's just, you know, when you feel like that, you don't want to take a lot of pictures, but you want to have them there for the kids one day.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, dear Lord, what have I done? You know, but.
Well, thank you for sharing those with us. I am always amazed when memories pop up in Facebook, and I think, oh, I got to make a side by side with that picture.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your testimony with us. Now, how did you just hear about working at Shibboleth and decide, you know what, I want to work here?
Well, Kim and Joni approached me a year ago, January, and said that they needed more help in the evenings on Facebook mostly. And that was very, you know, doable with my schedule and everything. And I just, you know, saw it as a wonderful opportunity. I was already a very active member, you know, in the Facebook community, and answered a lot of questions just because I was so excited to just stay plugged into it. So it just was a no-brainer for me to want to join the team. So that's
awesome.
how I joined the team a year ago, January.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that you do besides Facebook?
I do mentor appointments, usually from like 5 to 7 or 7:30. I help people with meal plans. I help them to find their way back if they've requested a Mayday phone call. And I help people, you know, go through the website and see what all it can do. And I also answer the live chat on the website.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I know we appreciate that very, very much. So any last words of wisdom as we hop off here for everybody that is watching today?
Definitely watch the daily doses in your fast track videos, because that is everything about the success of it. And if you've been doing this for a while and you kind of stopped, go watch them again, you know, go listen to them again. You know, I say just pop in some headphones and listen to it like it's a podcast while you do stuff around the house, but keeping all of that fresh in your mind, you know, keeping your goals, you know, and your why, you know, fresh, because that's going to change over time. You know, like, you know, pounds will creep back up on you, especially every Christmas. You know, I gain about 7 to 8 pounds every December, and then I lose it every January, you know, but you just have to stay plugged in and stay connected with it. You can't do this and then walk away from it and think you don't have to journal, or think you don't have to, you know, really stay into it, and do the challenges too, because those are a fun way to stay plugged in with the community.
And I love that you said that. Stay plugged in with the community, because as soon as you start to distance yourself from anything, you're no longer plugged into whatever it is that you are distancing yourself from. So you got to stay close and everything. So, well, let's see. We've got a couple of people chatting right here, and we'll hop off. Laurie is saying, good morning. Joni says hello and good morning. Sherry says, great interview, Missy. Thanks for all that you do. And Laurie says, I appreciate all the help you've given me, and hearing your story has been an inspiration.
Awesome.
So that is awesome. Well, thank you. I know you've got to go run.
Well, actually, I put off my 5K till tomorrow. So
Oh, okay.
the Blue Angels fly over. Do y'all know about that?
Yes. We're gonna stick our heads out too and see if we can see that. I know they're going over Kennestone at 1:35, I believe.
We're going to Peach to watch it with my mom. So.
Oh, awesome. Well, y'all have fun. Have a blessed and wonderful and perfect day. Today is my son's 17th birthday. So I'm having a holiday because I'm going to eat something. I'm going to eat something at Longhorn that's not approved. But I can do that. Yeah. And that's the beauty of Shibboleth, is a balanced lifestyle.
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. Well, you have a blessed day, and thank you so much for your time this morning.
It was fun. Good to talk to you.
Bye.